Hi, welcome to the Afrocentric Woman. I am coming here today. Let me disable it. Okay, I'm coming here today to talk about net worth. Yes, net worth. And to celebrate my positive net worth. Finally. Um, oh goodness. I've been going through a lot lately, a lot of stress, a lot of transition. I think that coming into the fall, I realize I have this like just pattern that's running that every time I get towards the fall, I start having a lot of anxiety, and it has to do with childhood things. So once I remember that, I was like, oh yeah, it's almost the fall. That may be why, you're experiencing an increased amount of anxiety. And then in addition to that, also um just transition of school, transition hiring people, transition firing people, transition with my roster, transition, so many freaking transitions, and just trying to manage it all. And I really just needed to sit down and think, where am I winning? Like, what's going right? Because I'm focusing on so many things that are going wrong, so many things that are challenging to me right now. Like, is there anything that I can celebrate about myself? Absolutely anything. And I started to think about finance and how well that's going. Finances are going okay. I'm doing phenomenally better than I was last year, and I'm getting a hang on uh you know, I'm just getting a hang on finance. And the my last date that I was with, um I was talking to him about a mutual fund that I was thinking about buying, and he's an investor. And, he was able to show me some things that I didn't know, some additional resources on investing. And so that's why I love my roster, because I have quality men on there that can help me. They can actually hit me to the game on a lot of things. And that was a blessing, that we were able to sit down and look at the fund, and he gave me some different tips and strategies on analyzing, what I choose to invest in. So there's that. Um, I used to have like a zero net worth, or like barely anything, because of student loans and credit cards. But the biggest debt that I had is my student loan. It continues to be the student loan. Um, and the credit cards are gone. That's all paid off. It's just student loans. So the student loan has always been the biggest barrier. It's always been the biggest issue for me. And um, it's interesting being a Black woman, and, being in the Black community, whether divested or not, and listen to the way Black men talk about Black women and our student loans, and use it as a means to demean Black women, use it as a way to devalue Black women, because, when it suits them, they separate themselves from us. Like, oh, that's your issue. But they want their issues to be our issues. So the incarceration rate, which really isn't a Black woman issue, they want you to take full responsibility for that. They want you to buy into their plight about incarceration rate. They want you to assist them with police brutality, which is mainly their issue. They want you to assist them with those kinds of things, and racial profiling by the law enforcement and all of that. But anytime it comes to, what you have going on, it's your problem, right? It's Black women's problem. They don't see it as a Black community issue, this issue of student loans or even debt in general. It just becomes you guys aren't really worth anything because you aren't monetarily worth anything. So therefore, they use it as a way to try and get Black women to lower their standards. And I was just thinking in my head, like, I can pay my student loan off, but if you have multiple felonies, like, you can't get rid of your felonies, bro. Like, there's a difference. You can't compare the two, okay? Like, if you got felonies and shit, which is the stuff that y'all are dealing with, you can't compare that to Black women's student loans because we can always pay that shit off. Is it overwhelming? It is. It's overwhelming sometimes. It's daunting, you know, and I'm going to go over, how I've kind of gotten things turned around for myself and going in the right direction. But, this is just the backdrop of, the community of underdeveloped males and this pathology that we deal with. We don't have a group of males who take any responsibility like, "Oh, Black woman, I'm sorry I let you down, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to, afford you to go to college. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to help you. We failed you." Obviously, we have a community-wide failure if Black women are drowning in student debt, but Black men don't feel really any accountability in that. And it isn't to say that Black males don't have student debt too, because they do. The issue of why student debt isn't proportionately distributed among Black men and Black women is because Black women are more educated. So, therefore, Black women are primarily the ones dealing with student loans. So that's the issue. And I fit into that category of Black women with student loans. So I really relate to those conversations. I understand the plight. It's very prevalent, and it's an issue that's going on. And you see them, especially those who deal with data, they see how they're lagging. When you break out, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so especially those who look at the data, and when you break out Black women and Black men, they see how they're lagging in so many different areas, and in areas of like building businesses and education, they are really lagging. In terms of homelessness, they overrepresent the homeless population. And of course, the incarceration continues to be a challenge for them, and the like. So that's the situation. And so when you're dealing with that data and you just don't want to admit that Black men need interventions, the specific for them, and Black men need to be the ones doing it, right? Every single panel that they do needs to be focused on the homelessness issue. It needs to be focused on incarceration. It needs to be focused on, um, staying out of jail, mental health, drug and alcohol abuse. They should be spending every waking moment helping themselves. But for whatever reason, they are obsessed with weave, makeup, lashes, hair extensions, clothes, every frivolous amount of thing that you can imagine, and they're not focused on the things that they really need just to help their own selves. Just to help yourself. These are the things that you should be focused on. Colon cancer, which really affects Black men, um, high blood pressure, of course, diabetes, and other health issues that are specific to them. They should be focused on that, but they're not. They're focused on weave, they're focused on hair, they're focused on clothes, jewelry, who's sleeping with who, celebrity gossip, and the like. And you're like, okay. And then when they don't want to deal with those statistics about how they're lagging, they want to try to like, oh my God, Black women are doing so good. What is the one thing that I can bring up that can devalue her in this moment? Ha ha ha, you have a student loan. Ha ha ha, you don't have a positive net worth. They don't see themselves as linked to us or responsible for us unless it benefits them, but just in general, in terms of the outcome of families and the outcome of girls who are 18, 19 years old, who are going to college, who don't have dads or any male figure to help pay for school, and they have to resort to taking out loans, they don't feel any responsibility for that as a collective. Like, man, as a collective, we let our women down because we couldn't afford to take them to school, or rather to fund their school. So that's that. So that's just the backdrop. And I feel like, I'm just one little drop in this massive sea of the situation of, the collective of Black women, many of whom are dealing with student debt. So this is how, these are some of the things that I think assisted me in getting to a positive net worth. Now, I'll tell you this, I really grappled with disclosing the fact that I'm like five-figure net worth, like, because it's nothing really to brag about, to be honest. Um, it's just simply not. And so I really grappled with that, like, ooh, God, it's like walking down the street naked, disclosing that information. But I think that it's worth it for me to just go ahead and just disclose it, because I don't know if there's another Black woman that's going to tune into this channel and be in my same exact situation at zero net worth or negative net worth at worst. And so this is for her. This is for the woman who's at zero or negative net worth. And, I'm walking down the street naked, basically, you know, in hopes that hopefully, like, it'll be worth it. Hopefully somebody, some Black woman will be inspired, and some Black woman won't feel alone, and some Black woman somewhere will know that she can do it too, because if I can do it, she can do it. All right, so that's that. All right, so let's get into it. The first thing that I needed to do was get over overwhelm. I was absolutely overwhelmed, and I felt, and I still battle with feeling a lot of resentment about my student loan. I've talked about this in other videos. I feel some resentment about the student loans, being just, kind of ignorant, being 18. I'm only the second person in my family to go to college. My mother did not go to college. My father didn't go to college, so neither one of them could help me navigate, financing college. They didn't save not $1 for me to go to school, so I started off with nothing in life. And so, I do feel resentment for that. But I really needed to just kind of push past, because I think that the resentment about your circumstance can kind of keep you stagnated. It can keep you just wanting to bury the student loan or bury the burden that you have to deal with, because it's just easier not to pay attention to it. It's just easier to not feel those feelings, right? Those feelings of regret, those feelings of being duped or being, disadvantaged, being angry with people, being angry with yourself. And so sometimes it's just easier to just ignore those statements, ignore it, and just defer, 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 forbearance, forbearance, forbearance. Had I been as emotionally strong as I am now, a while ago, I could have started attacking that student loan a long time ago. But to be honest, there was just so much emotion, entangled in that student loan, that just made me not want to deal with it. Just, oh, I qualify for forbearance, perfect, sign me up. Oh, I qualify for deferment, okay, that's fine. Not realizing the snowball effect of having that accrued interest added to the principal, right? And so then you're angry at that, and you're angry at that, and you're angry, that you didn't start paying it sooner, and you're just like, it can just snowball, and the overwhelm and beating yourself up doesn't help you. It doesn't motivate you to start paying. It doesn't motivate you to get up and get moving. So the first thing I needed to do was get over all those negative feelings and come to peace with them and say, it's not going away. I've got to attack this thing eventually. And not even just the student loan, but the credit cards as well. And there's resentment. Hold on, y'all. Okay, there's resentment associated with the credit cards too, because I think I may have mentioned, but if I haven't, just, being um being with a dusty, and, not having any financial help, and needing to, finance basic life things on a credit card, was definitely overwhelming as well, and a lot of resentment with that. So, um, okay, so getting over that. Okay, that's number one. And then number two, I made a goal to be in the positive net worth. I just was like, I just want to get comfortably over the line of zero. I don't want to be negative because at one point in time I had a negative net worth. you know, I had more debt than I had assets. I guess I'm really assuming that you all know what the net worth is. So maybe I shouldn't have assumed that. Net worth is your assets minus your liabilities, and you want that to be in the positive. So I had more debt than I had assets, and that's all valuable things you have: cash on hand, investments, and the like, right? So at one point I was negative, and I was like, well, let me just get positive any by any means necessary. Like, so I made that goal. The second thing that I did, and I did this 2 years ago, was I started working on money habits. So I just wasn't like, oh, I want to make $100,000 a year, or oh, I want to make, X amount of dollars a year. What I realized was I didn't have the habits to support my goal. So I'd had the goal 100,000, 100,000, 100,000. That's what I want. That's what I want because that's like a nice round figure, and it's just a figure that's thrown around a lot. But I realized I didn't have the habits. I didn't have the daily, weekly, monthly habits, quarterly habits to actually achieve that. So instead of me focused on a money goal and a specific, I kind of kept the money goal a little bit more vague, and that being in a positive net worth and what I needed to do to get there, and then my money habits. And the money habits that I incorporated were checking my account every day. Now, I'll honestly tell you, I don't check it every day, but I do check it several times a week. Although my goal continues to be check all of my accounts every day. Look at my money every day. Feel comfortable looking at money, working with money, asking for money, getting money, giving money, just getting more comfortable with money, period. And that's what I did. And the more I did it, the more like I used to get anxiety opening up my account because it didn't have the amount of money in there that I wanted. I just didn't want to look at it. But that anxiety of not wanting to look at what you have, not wanting to see where you are, only adds to the problem. So, in order to get over that, I just did it every day. When you do something continuously all the time, it becomes like clockwork and you don't think about it. You just do it. You do it. Why? Because it's on my list of things to do today. I wake up, I brush my teeth, I open up my bank account. I look at my money. I look at all the accounts, I open them up. What are they doing? What's growing? Where am I, like what's being charged? Is there anything crazy on there? Did I spend that? What was that for? Can I save? Do I have anything extra that I can put away? That kind of thing. Just looking at it every day kind of gets rid of that anxiety and it becomes a good money habit, a good money habit. So that was one thing I did, opening up my accounts, looking at my money all the time. Another thing that I did was I implemented auto savings. So instead of me relying on myself to go into save, I actually did it from payroll. So some of my money goes into my checking account, but some of my money goes into my savings. I don't even see it, right? It's not even something I think about. It goes into savings. Once it hits that savings account, it automatically is invested into a CD. All of this is automated, and there's a lot of automation tools. We can talk about it later. There's a lot of automation tools with money that you can use that will put your money growth and your debt repayment on autopilot. You won't even have to think about it. Your money will be working. The plan and the strategy that you set up to get to where you want to go money wise can be running on autopilot through artificial intelligence, through automation, those kinds of things. So that's what I set up. I set up a system where money is automatically saved and invested without me even having to think about it. So these things are growing my net worth without me actually having to actively put any effort into it. Another thing, speaking of automation, is the 401k. So investing in that 401k, looking at it, making sure it's growing, it does help not to look at it all the time because the market does fluctuate, but looking at it like a couple times a quarter to reevaluate my investment strategy to see where it's going. And overall, we did take some dips with coronavirus and some recession stuff and all that. But overall, the market has recovered and that is growing. And so that's great, using your 401k. The next thing I did was open up, well, I already had the brokerage account, but become a little bit more of an active investor. So I have a goal of investing every month. Now, this isn't necessarily the best strategy long term, but for me, it's a good strategy for now because I'm becoming more savvy about investing. Just like I was telling you earlier, I was talking to one of the guys that I'm dating who isn't, well, pretty much all the guys I date invest. But the guy that that I went on a date with the last time that I told you I was getting ready to go out with this guy, he invests and he's wealthy, and talking to him about um his investment strategy and how he decides where to put his money. And I've talked to other men that I've dated who are wealthy about investment. I'm just constantly absorbing information. Um because I have the goal to be more comfortable with finance and more comfortable with investment. I'm still a novice at this point. I'm still a novice, and I'm getting more comfortable with creating a strategy that works for me and my, wealth management goals and those kinds of things. But just constantly seeking information. And so the reason why I have this strategy of it just actively investing once a month. So that means I get in there, I look on tools like the Motley Fool, and I see what's going on. And what else do I do? I research, I look at like dividend paying stocks or stocks under $50, like what companies are doing well, what industries are going where. Also, thinking about what's going on with the market, and then I actively invest. So I don't do anything crazy like buy and sell or short this or that. I buy and I hold, but I like to be active in the account instead of having it on autopilot until I get comfortable. Now, once I get more uncomfortable, I probably will automate some things with my brokerage account. But for right now, I'm actively going in there and actively transferring, maneuvering, buying stocks, and those kinds of things. So there's that. Now, the next thing that has helped me become positive in my net worth has been my roster. So, my roster of guys that I've dated over the past couple of years, we'll say, um, have been men who have given me information about investing, but more so than that, I get money every now and then. So when things come up, I don't have to pay for them. Like, oh, something's going on with my car. Some guy somewhere pays for it. So that's money that I don't have to spend. You know, I've never spent money in Sephora to this day because some guy somewhere on my roster, some guy around me that wants my time and attention is going to take me there and get me what I want. You know, I've gotten all kinds of stuff, clothes, like, oh, I don't feel like paying this, give me money. Okay. And they just give me money. We're not talking like thousands and thousands of dollars, although that will be nice. I welcome that. I welcome bands, hey, come on over. But until then, the hundreds is that works, for now. So yeah, I get money from men, and that helps. It helps. Little things here and there that I don't have to pay for. Car repairs, bills. I just got a new phone. One of my guys bought me a phone, and I haven't even seen him in like, I don't know, God knows how long. I just was like, "Hey babe, can I have a phone?" And he sent me the money. Or I don't feel like cooking. He sent me the money. And so it's a little bit here and there from the roster, but really when you add it up, it helps because I'm not dipping into my own savings or my own, I'm not dipping into my own money to pay these little things here and there. There's some generous man that appreciates me and wants to help me out that just throws me a couple bucks here and there, and that has helped. All right, the next thing is I had to give myself a raise with my business. So that's another thing, is just increasing income. I knew that it was just inevitable. The amount of money that I was making last year wasn't going to cut it. I wasn't going to be able to start tackling my debt until I had more money. So I had to finagle a way to give myself a raise. Now, if you don't work for yourself, you may have to seek a raise or seek a better job. Because sometimes side hustling isn't the way. If you're giving away the most of your time, 40 plus hours a week at your main gig, it's better off that you try to just get more money for that 40 hours a week instead of getting underpaid or being in a situation that's not going to benefit you or what you're trying to do, and then trying to supplement a bad situation with a side hustle. I would say the first line of attack is to try to either get a raise, get another position in the company, or try to move to another company in a better position that's going to be making the amount of money you want. But you got to do a budget and see how much money you need to do what you have to do and live the way you want to live, and then try to find a job to match that. You know, Definitely side hustle, but I don't think side hustle should be the first line of defense, because sometimes if you do that, you'll be underpaid for 40 hours a week. Then you're trying to tack on 20 hours a week to supplement that job. You're so tired, exhausted that you don't even realize you don't have time to better the 40 plus hour commitment because you're focusing so much time on the side hustle. So just try to make more money first in your main gig, and then supplement from there. If you do have like a business or alternative income streams that you want to do, then you can do that. So I'm also toying around with alternative forms of income. I mean, right now, my main extra little side hustle or my side extra money that comes in is my roster. And it is what it is. Like, it's hard work dating. Anybody that's actively dating, and all of the screening that I do, the screening, the vetting, the getting ready, y'all heard part of my process, my getting ready process. All I did was do my makeup. That is not including my hair, my nails, and getting dressed and all of that. So it's work. I'm not gonna like I don't wanna say that keeping a roster is easy or it's just a walk in the park. It takes energy from me to do it. So yeah, I get money. And if I wasn't getting money, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't. So it kind of pays for itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess my roster, until further notice, is well, we'll call it my alternative stream of income. Okay. All right, moving on. The next one is refinance. I got my credit cards refinanced down so that I could pay it off faster, because I'm going to attack the student loan aggressively after I finish paying off the 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 credit card that got refinanced. I refinanced everything into a personal loan, and I got a good deal, and it took me a while to get the best deal. I had to finagle some things, but I got a good deal on that interest rate, and I may refinance it again next year. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but I'm paying more than what I is required of me. I'm paying over. And the reason why I'm paying over is because I want to get that paid down as fast as possible. I don't want to linger with it. I want to get it done fast. And I'll just do the bare minimum on the student loan. But once that's done, I'm going to aggressively attack the student loan until that's done. So that's what I'm doing, and that's helped tremendously. Getting that debt paid down and saving is a recipe for getting your getting your net worth in the positive realm. Like, who knew I would go from 0 to 5 figures in a matter of what, 7 months or something? I want to say the beginning of this year, I was negative. Look at me now. It's not like I'm rolling in the dough, but gosh, coming from nothing to being in the positive, it's just great to see a green number instead of a red number. And so that's where I just had to celebrate myself and, like, okay, like, don't be so hard on yourself. Celebrate the little wins. Like, no millionaire or no comfortable person that isn't born into money comes into it overnight. I'm not selling a dream or saying go scratch off lottery tickets or go just depend on getting a sugar daddy. Hey, we welcome lottery winnings and we welcome sugar daddies. They're welcome too. But that isn't a surefire way to change your situation. If it comes, it comes, that's fine. But we're not doing MLMs or scams or schemes or selling a dream. No, this is diligent, persistent, consistent, chipping away at something very large, a little bit every day or a little bit every week, and staying on the grind. and look at where you can go. Look at how things can turn around for you. When you do a little bit every day, you do everything on the up and up, you do everything, you know what I'm saying? Um, what's the word? You're doing everything. Oh God, what is the word I'm trying to use? Just legit. You're doing it legit. No scams, no schemes, you know? Legit money, generation. So, yeah, the refinancing and paying the debt down aggressively. And look at me now. Could you share book recommendations? Book recommendations for money. Um, let me look at my bookshelf. Um, gosh, I'm sorry, Luxy Life. I really don't have a book recommendation for money, but I can recommend some tools to you, and these tools may be beneficial. I recommend an app called Personal Finance. I like to use it on the desktop, but they do have a mobile app as well. Personal finance has been amazing because it does track net worth and it does a better job at tracking net worth than Mint. I do have Mint, but I find myself really relying more so on personal capital than I do on Mint. Another app that I like, or another website service that I like, is Credit Karma, and looking at my credit. And maybe we can do a whole nother video because, oh, by the way, y'all, I went from fair credit to excellent credit in a matter of 8 months. And we're talking over 700 credit score. No scams, no schemes, no get rich quick bullshit. No, diligent, hard work, diligent chipping away at the block every week, every day. So that's also possible, but I think that we can do a separate live just about credit. We can do a separate live about that because I can talk to you about, you know, me getting my credit together. But honestly, many of the things that I've already gone over about getting my net worth into the positive is the same stuff that helped me with my credit. So I'm comfortably at an excellent credit score right now. And so, um, personal capital and Mint, Credit Karma is another one. And then there's also credit monitoring, usually credit monitoring tools within your bank account or credit card account. So just activate those and you can utilize them. Those help a lot. You could also go directly to the credit bureaus and sign up for their free credit monitoring. It isn't going to be the exact FICO score that lenders see, but it will still give you an idea of where you are. So you can sign up for free accounts on Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You can sign up for free accounts on there, and they will send you like a little monthly uh, report or email on what's going on with your credit. But money, gosh, I really don't have any book. I haven't read any books about money as of far. Actually, I take that back, Lexi. There's a book that I read that was very transformational that I read. I read it like, was it during like the beginning of the pandemic? It's called The Millionaire Next Door. There's a book called The Millionaire Next Door. This book is particularly helpful for parents because it talks about how to successfully generate wealth and pass it down, and what unsuspecting millionaires do, how they think. Not like super millionaires like Elon Musk and stuff. No, no, we're talking about regular schmegular people that live next door to you who just happen to have $2 or $3 million, and how they got it and how they think and how they pass it down. That book was really inspirational for me, the practicality of it all. You're very welcome. Clover, I use E-Trade. I use E-Trade for brokerage. And another thing that I did was I opened up a brokerage account for my little one. And so now she owns a stock in Mattel. So instead of just buying dolls and buying toys, we actually, I say, well, I would prefer to invest money in toy companies that are, doing well. I think I want to buy Disney next. So I think I might look at the money in her piggy bank and see if we have enough money to buy some Disney stock. As of right now, I checked yesterday, Disney is trading at about $180 a share. So we'll see if we have enough money in the piggy bank. Because every time she gets money, we just put it in her little piggy bank. But we may take the money out of the piggy bank, count it up, and see if we have enough money to buy a Disney stock. And I think that would be really cool for her to, see the whole process, count the money, take it to the bank, transfer the money from the bank account to the brokerage account and purchase the stock. So that's the plan. That is the plan. And you're so welcome, Lexi. You're so welcome. So yeah, y'all, that's what it is. I just want to encourage you, Black women, to, feel inspired. You can do it. I'm not saying it's easy. I try to be as transparent as I can with you all as a means to showing you that you can do it, as a means to showing you that there's a Black woman who may possibly have the similar struggles as you, similar background as you, similar, obstacles as you, and some of the tips and strategies that I'm using to, overcome these things, and whatever may possibly be helpful to you, please snatch it up and please implement it, and just try different things and see what sticks and see what works for you. That's what I, highly encourage you lovely ladies to do. So we can do it, y'all. We can get positive. We can stabilize ourselves financially. This is not necessarily a community-wide solution, but these can be individual solutions for individual Black women who want to stabilize themselves economically. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to join the Discord, you can send a voice note on the Instagram account and you can join the Discord. You're welcome to ask questions in there that you don't want to ask on the stream on the comments section. If it's something more private, you can ask it on Instagram, or you can ask to join the Discord, and we can talk we can talk inside the Discord. Thank you so much for joining. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have a community page, a community tab on YouTube or discussion board, I'll be so grateful if you could share this video on your social media so that more Black women can get this message and benefit from it. All right, y'all. Peace.